Hello there guys, welcome for a new video. I'm gonna make this video on PROT Paladin 9.0.5 guide, so you guys understand how PROT has changed. As you can see, PROT has changed a bit from the nerfs and hotfixes in 9.0.5. So first and foremost, I'll start with the basic stuff that got nerfed, what got nerfed, and how it will affect us. So first, Spellward I found out doesn't work in RBGs or Battleground to cap flags anymore, or pick nodes, whatever. It doesn't work while you're normally any immunities normally don't work on people that have orbs, for example, in Hot Mogu. Well, this is now fixed and doesn't work as as it used to. So for those who knew that Spellward worked to Ninja Kappa base, it doesn't anymore. Second, we have Steed of Glory that got nerfed to just being roots and snares. So we're not going to use it anymore because it's quite a waste, because it doesn't remove any of the CC's root or snare you have on you. So if you're already rooted or snared, you're going to use it and it won't do anything. You'll still be rooted or snared, so it's kind of bad. You would have to combo it with the freedom, which is just better at this point to use Unbound freedom and using a steed. So you also don't get the knock spam anymore. In Legion, you used to not have every CC immunity, but you would knock infinitely your target. You could juggle with them. So you can't do that at all. So it's really just bad at this point. So I've changed some talents. I went Holy Shield. It's a hard talent to master, but your DPS will increase from doing that than just using this for passive healing. You'll play more aggressive with this. You'll be able to tank more damage and stay in the open. Else you still play Spellward because Steed of Glory won't work, and Unbreakable Spirit kind of bad for PvP because your cooldowns won't really matter for Lay on Hand or Bubble. You won't live long enough to get to reuse those ability. Maybe for Ardent Defender, but Ardent Defender isn't really that useful to have at 30% cooldown while you have a 2-minute reduction on an immunity by using Spellward and making it magic immunity. So that's it for those two talents that are the two changes mainly. I will still hop for Hand of the Protector in arenas, but for world content, you guys, you should play Consecrated Ground. Really good. Some people told me Righteous Protector, why not? It's too slow. You don't get enough with wings. When you go Sanctified Wrath, you get big wings. Your judgments generate one more holy power, which is one global cooldown less. So with how low our haste is right now, I'm even using the haste trinket. We're still too low to opt for a Righteous Protector. Until we have 24% haste, I won't go for a Righteous Protector. It's inefficient. What else? That's it for the talents. Now for the gear, still haste and verse major because you can't do anything really. You need to PvP to get the PvP gear with verse and haste. I opt still for this Vanguard Momentum Legendary that got buffed, by the way, which so it's really strong, way stronger than any other legendaries for Ventier. And yeah, that's it for the gear. Full PvP gear. Oh yeah, the gem, 5% movement speed. Really good. It works in arena, and like this, I get 14% speed. So 14% speed increase over other players makes me able to catch up to them with Unbound Freedom. And here we're gonna do a quick look at the conduits at the same time, and this will increase 8% more, so you really have a lot of speed with just freedom. You can catch up to anyone. So you have freedom and Seed of Glory to catch up to your opponents instead of just having normally steed or freedom. Yeah, I go leisure gate because this works, but I don't like it because when I don't play I tried playing Golden Path. It's really good if you stay in consecration, but you just can't stay inside of it. So if you're dueling, it's good, but if you're in arena, you're gonna have to walk out of consecration all the time. So replacing it is a waste of GCD most of the time. I just opt for this easy mobility tree right on the right side. Always go Theodar because this is just you place your consecration while inside of it and you're immune to damage because 512 mastery is like 10% damage reduction. So you're gonna get like I only have so little mastery. I'm gonna get a lot mastery with that buff and I will be able to tank with my verse also. Um, Vengeful Shock, like always. I go this just because I like gold and making money while killing things. This is just as efficient for those who know how to do the party that I don't don't ever do. So I just never pick that. And Shilling Ward, as always, I need to upgrade that. Never got the chance to get lucky with that. I got everything else like almost 200 plus. Uh, Lightsparting's still good, even though Steed of Glory doesn't work. It's still the best mobility finest conduit out there. And I go wasted land propriety for the 6% burst and 3% for allies. So when you burst with your ashen, you get big damage with your already existing verse and verse buffs. So that's it for the conduits. Now for the macros, guys. A lot of you asked me, what kind of macro am I using? That's a good question because Prot has a lot of utility that needs to be macroed. So I'll make it simple. Here is just easy for Ashen. You won't, as you see, you won't see the circle, but it'll instantly place it out. So if you're good with how far you know your Ashen is going to be placed, well, then you can just instantly place it on the ground at your cursor. So that's really good. Instead of having to target then click to apply, you can waste some seconds, get kicked there. So that's why I play that. But it's harder. So for those who don't know how the radius of their action is and how far they can aim it, I would consider not using it because it's harder. Um, Then you have my Seraphim, which people somehow ask me because they saw the dot. It's not really a macro, it's just for toys. I use a lot of toys, like my Wings here. Wings has the maximum toys added to it. It doesn't have anything more than Avenging Wrath as an actual ability. The rest are toys. And I have a saltwater potion at the end for Battlegrounds, which I almost ate them all, but they're really good to macro with your Wings. What else for my macros? Okay, I'll talk about my other macro for door before I go to the support macro. This is the same as I wanted for my Ashen Hallow. Um, I use the stop casting so I can instead if I'm rooted, I can't stop cast. So instead of having to move to stop cast, I can just repress the ability, and if I click again on the ability, press X, it'll cancel cast. So I can do it really quickly. So that's a little tip if you instead of having to do that, you can just do. So that's one thing. Now for the support macros. So I have one for my party member that I normally play with all the time, and another one for just the focus, which most of DPS use their focus on the kill target, but I don't really see a use for that because your damage abilities shouldn't be on a focus macro. So it's better for support to use those focus macro. So this is for Carax, my DK, which I queued Gladiator with. This is freedom for him. Normally I use it here and I replace like this. So I kind of like Fat Finger 8 and 9 to get freedom on my focus target and Z for Freedom Carax, which is mostly all the time the target I'm gonna freedom because I kill with a Windwalker, and Windwalker don't need often freedom. Um, for the other part, I normally don't need taunt. I use taunt for normal world content, but I will switch taunt off my bars or to the side like this, and I will put the macro which I have where here. This is my macro for support 3, so I put it right there. And so this is for Carax, and this is for my focus. I use a 12 button mouse, so all those buttons are on my mouse, and these are on my keyboard. So I have a lot of keybinds to opt with for when it comes to support. What else I have? I have my sacrifice. I have one for my focus, one for my for Carax. I prefer names, guys, because when you use party member, party 1, party 2, party 3, you're gonna have problems with remembering who is which places because it switch out each game depending on who enters the arena first. So that's why I don't play it, because I prefer having like muscle memory, instantly knowing, yeah, if I press this one, um, I'm gonna freedom. I'm gonna sack Moker, for example, which is my Windwalker, and not Carax. What else? We got through Sack, Freedom, and Guardian here. Guardian, normally Guardian should always be a macro. This is my focus macro for Guardian on Carax or Moker. This one is Carax, and the one I normally use for no, that's not the right one. This is the one. This is for Carax. So I named it Moker, but that was an old time ago. I should probably rename it Carax. We'll put a space here. So this is it. Always save your macros before closing them, because if something happens in a loading screen, it might crash you and you might lose all your macro. So that's important for macros if you didn't know. For BOP, I have one. For focus, I do not use often the one for Carax because it's on my mouse and I don't need to spellword him because he has MS. It's all really what you're playing with, what you should prioritize. So normally I put the name of inside the macro of the one I need to support less, and I put on focus the one that I know the enemy is gonna focus and sit on the whole game. Um, so Guardian, Bob, Sack, Freedoms, and Word of Glories here. This is just I don't know what it's. Oh yeah, normally I switch them out here, so I move it from here to here, but I forgot. These are my trinkets. I in World PvP, if I need to change between a combat, you just switch between those, and it's really useful for World PvP only. So don't put those on your bars if you don't have those trinkets or do not mind World PvPing. Now I think we did all the basics. Macros, and yeah, now we're for add-ons. So add-ons, okay. We're gonna start easy. Announce interrupt. That's normally super good if you're not on vocal. If you're on vocal, the only use for it will be to know if you landed the kick or not. Sometimes you're like, oh, yeah, I landed it, and he just fake cast it at the same time. But this will announce if you interrupted. If you didn't, it won't say it. It'll appear in the chat, and maybe do it /say if you're in an instance group. Normally, it will do it in party chat. So very good for announcing interrupts. Auctionator, bad for PvP. Bartender is what I use for my bars. Really easy, basic stuff. Just AI related. Any add-on for changing your bars and thing all work the same. This one is just the one I ended up with because it was the first one I learned about. Battleground enemies, good for RBGs and BGs. Nothing much in arena. You should use it for battlegrounds and RBGs because well you get all the enemies and their trinkets and their DRs, so really useful. Big debuff, always a need in my opinion because you see crowd controls on the raid frames of your allies, and I think it also shows on my enemies. Not sure if that's an other add-on, but you'll see if you have them all at the end, you should have the same interface as me. So this is a must-have for seeing your friends. If they're CC'd, you can instantly, without them having to call it, dispel them or use a cooldown on them. Cooldown count, that's just for you see it glows 3 2 1 0 point. It's more precise, and you see the actual cooldown count. This is random stuff. Details is the best damage meter slash information add-on that doesn't bug like recount or the other ones that I used to use. So those are good. I don't really use these. These are added plugins, but not very useful. I think I downloaded them for tests and they don't actually work, so don't mind those. Diminish, really good for. Wait, what do I use? Diminishing returns tracker for all style friendly units. Normally, if I look at it in my interface, diminish. Can I show it how it works? Maybe I have to fly over there. So normally it'll show over their head the DRs next to their nameplate, the DR. Normally it's here for me. I see the DR of my target and not party frame like Gladius. So it's really good. Xeri used that too, and Xeri is a rank 1 fire mage in general, and he made a video and I saw that. I picked it up instantly. Good information, not taking that much space on your screen, just small DR tracker. So a must have. Uh, if you guys need to like know how it works to like configure it, there are videos for that by the makers, the devs that made those add-ons themselves, I think. So you should watch those and not my profiles because my profiles are pretty random and not really optimized. This is my shadow unit frame, and I kind of copied the base one and just made it like slim. You can do it if you just take a photo of my screen and adjust. It's not like perfect. It's not like 50-50 on the length. It's pretty just how much of my resolution it takes. Oops, I'm in macros here. Add-ons. Green wall is for the guild. So E-align is really good. It can I do it? Slash E-align. How do you do it? It's slash align, yeah. This will help you a lot. So you guys can see how my screen is placed right now. It's really all organized upon this fixed point, and so you know where is the center of your screen. So good to install if you want to configure your interface. How do I turn it off? Slash align. Oops. Slash align. Sorry guys, I kind of didn't press enter there. Okay. Uh, that's it for that. ND node, bad, mythic, nah. Nameplate cooldowns, perfect. That's the one that you guys mostly asked about. How do you know the cooldowns of these guys? How do you see that? It's nameplate cooldowns. It shows over their head their cooldowns, their important cooldowns, which for Bubble, for example, I'm like, does he have Bubble right now? Well, it's not over his head, so he has it. Pretty obvious at this point. So it also in battlegrounds, for example, does this guy have his burst up? Oh, he does actually. I can see he doesn't have anything over his head. So that's a good point for BGs or anything where like you're not sure if the enemy has cooldowns, unlike in the arena where you know they they're gonna target you and do their burst, and you can count in your head, for example, oh I bursted there, so in 2 minutes he's gonna have it too when I have mine back too. But so that's just a simpler life hack right there. Omnibar, really good for tracking cooldowns. Omni CC2, you should have those. Those are basic for PvP. They're all just helpful to find DR on Gladius and seeing kicks, for example. When somebody uses a kick, it shows right here above my target, so I know they already kicked. So that's good. Um, yeah, those two pretty much follow the enemy cooldowns, but they don't do it at the same place. Omnibar, I'm not sure it works right now for me. I prefer using nameplate cooldowns, but I have it for some abilities. For Omni CD, I use it for my friends, so I know when their cooldowns are up next to their raid frame right here. And Omnibar I don't really use actually. I prefer nameplate cooldowns. Bad. S Arena, really good. Enhance arena frames. It's better than Gladius in my opinion. Even though it used to bug, it doesn't anymore. You just gotta know what your opponent is via the little icon of their spec. There's no other indicator for which spec they are. Took me a while to adapt from Gladius to where you actually know what you're facing to just having a small symbol of their spec. For example, I'm gonna close this. PROT is a shield, so you would have to know these symbols to know what you're facing. But it's really good. It has a smaller space on your screen, and you have more open space for looking around when playing. Treadplate is what I use for my enemies right here. If you see it's blue, shiny blue, really good for me as a tank, but not only as a tank, it shows me who I want to target, who look this is also from Treadplate, I think. It shows the debuffs instead of being here, it shows them over their head. So it's really good for PvP too. Yeah, you should have that. It's one of the best nameplate configuration you can have. And if you want to make it like mine, I'll make another video on that because it's really a lot of details. But you can do it by yourself. It's pretty simple to just do your own configuration with your own color panel. Because for me it's blue, but it's normally red, for example. I just like blue better because it shines more for me. Shadow unit frame is these things. That's what I use for my character and how that works. I'm trying to skip weak auras. Those are here. I'm gonna open here. Most of them are BFA. I use readout. I couldn't. I heard it didn't work. The link I showed you guys. So I don't know how I can show it to you. But normally, if I export string or uh, do anything like that, it won't let me export to strings. That's what I use in the video. I just copied and paste in the. Normally you can just import and paste it here and it works. But it seemed like it didn't work for you guys. How the fuck do I? Okay, there. Magister's Judgment, that was for my other build, where you could track your judgment. Not a good use anymore for this. Judgment has a 40% chance, 45% chance to reduce your cost. That was just showing up as the judgment. It's really easy if you guys want to make quick things like that. You just go in new aura from template, so it's already made, and texture. You decide whatever you want, and you can make your own add-on, your own weak aura by just deciding which spell you want to show. It's you can exploit that. That weak auras are really good for making what you want for your interface. The Jack character stat, really good for knowing every single stat that's possible, like dodge, parry, and making them like spell power. What is my spell power actually? Because those don't show normally. Like, what is my global cooldown? For me, it's 1.27 second. It doesn't show normally, but the Deja character stat tells you that. So that's for my talents. If you have any question, ask them in comments. I will make a video with footage soon. I did do some Arena 2s for carry, but I didn't want to record those because well, problem is I'm carrying, so the view, the person I'm carrying doesn't want to be on a video. So once I do a push when twos with my buddy, which should happen soon, we will stream and record to make a video about that. I do RBGs, but I don't think you guys want. If you guys want, ask me in the comments, and I will make a video on my RBG session. Just I might do raw footage because RBGs normally need vocals, so I can't speak over people that are doing the RBGs, you know. So I need to listen to the leader or make my own end lead, so I can't just speak for you viewers and for the group I'm leading or the leader himself. And threes, I haven't been queuing a lot. I have queued a little with my partners after the nerfs. No, just before the nerfs to see if the comp still worked. It worked pretty fine. We went 6-4 after not playing for 3 months in threes, so the comps were really good for Windwalker Prot Unholy DK. We'll try again pretty soon and make a video on it on with the nerfs, and it should still work because we have Necro Strike with DK. And Windwalker has an insane one shot with Serenity and shit, so we just found out about that looking into stuff. But yeah, the comp should work. I'll keep you guys updated. But this is it for the changes for PROT Paladin. And if you have any questions, ask them in the comments or add me at Mortalox hashtag 1937. Some people added me and I answered their questions. Really good to have feedback upon my videos. And I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. See ya.